We have in the studio today Grammy winner Sheila E. Known as the Queen of Percussion, she is an artist who has shaped the sound of pop, funk, and Latin music for over 4 decades. Her new album, Bailar, is a bold rhythmic journey through Latin grooves, funk beats, and infectious dance energy. Paired with Sheila E. and Friends, Bailar Instrumentals highlights the raw power of the music. Both albums are a celebration of rhythm and soul. I really appreciate you being on the Hello, My Name is Dana podcast.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. First, I want to say congratulations on your Grammy.
Thank you.
That is amazing. I know it was for Best Global Music Performance.
Yes.
And I know you performed can you tell me first about the two albums and the song? I know it was Gloria Estefan and I'm gonna apologize right now. Sometimes my pronunciation of words are like south
Mine
of
too. Mine
south
too.
of the Dixie. So I don't want to mess it up too bad. But Mimy
Succar.
Succar,
Perfect.
is that correct? I was
Perfect.
practicing before I got on. I'm like, okay, Succar, I gotta know Bemba Colora.
Yeah, Colora.
See, I didn't get the roll with the L, but I have my little pronunciation and broke down in my little
That's
my thing.
awesome.
But
Perfect.
yeah, tell me that's so exciting. I mean, and what does that mean personally to be recognized for
Oh,
such a
it's amazing, especially from our peers to women win a Grammy from people that admire you, your work, and all that we had done. It took a long time to do this record, so I'm very honored. Still, like humbled and grateful by the whole thing. 40 years later, to win my first Grammy after my only ever nomination in 1984 or 85. So it's never too late and never
yeah,
give up on your dreams and your goals. Both albums just came out. I did a
yeah, you
Bailar
too.
Deluxe. Yeah.
Yeah,
So Bailar Deluxe is an extension of Bailar that I won last year for the Grammy. And I just thought that there were not enough people that have heard this record. It's like, how can I put it back out and get it moving again? And so I added 3 songs.
yeah,
I did a Latin version of Glamorous Life, which
yeah.
was,
I want
you
to ask
know,
you about that.
yeah, Glamorous Life. And then first time working and collaborating with La India, even though I've known her since she was 16 years old. It was a joy to have her on this record. She's a powerhouse vocalist. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Amazing. She did an incredible job. And then first time for me ever singing a song totally in Spanish because I don't speak Spanish.
okay,
And so that was amazing. It's called Vuelvo, and I had a 60-piece orchestra as
yep,
well as drummers. There was 12 of us playing, just overdubbing stacks of drums and making it sound really big, and a choir. So it's a beautiful, wonderful song that a friend of mine, Claudia, wrote. So that started that, and then a week later, I released the second album, and
yep,
I did it because I all the music was done and mixed because this all the music from Bailar, and I
uh-huh.
said, well, wait a minute, I could do an instrumental version of every song. I just need to get people to play. Like, so I took my phone. I'm like, hey, can you play on this song tonight? Tomorrow, can you get this done at 2 o'clock? Like, I was literally the whole week like trying to get it done. Like, I did it almost in a week. Like, I was trying to get this
Get it.
out, and
Yeah,
it made sense, and it was really nice because I mixed it with a little bit of like traditional artists that like Nestor Torres and Charlie Sepulveda, uh, playing their Latin artists in their own right, but to have other artists that don't play salsa, like to have Chris Bodie and Marcus Miller, Kirk
oh,
Whalum. Well, Kirk will play
yeah.
salsa. Kirk Whalum, my godson Michael Gabriel. Like there's a lot of young and new people that I just met, and I wanted to try to find as many women as I could. So there's a
Yeah.
Ella Bryce's Breek
Oh,
or Bryce, yeah, she's playing
yeah.
trumpet,
Hmm.
amazing trumpet.
Yeah.
Amber's playing flute. Giovanna's playing cello. Like I just. It just made sense to do it. I'm like, I've never had an instrumental. I was like, why haven't I done this? So it just made sense. And I was like, well, we got to put this out. Let's do
Yeah.
it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it was amazing. It's funny. I was interviewed Nathan East.
Oh, my
Oh,
brother.
the guy is such an amazing, and his son,
That
amazing.
album, those two together, and I mean, but Nathan is a sweetheart.
Oh,
He's been like this his whole life. He's amazing.
he's
One of the
amazing.
kindest people I know. Yeah.
He is amazing, and kind of like what you just said about, like, the different people he collaborated with, or you collaborate and you get into the studio, you get that vibe going, and it's like, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do this
Exactly.
before? I want to ask though, in 1984 you did you record Glamorous Life, which is like international. You go on any radio, you're gonna hear that song. How did you decide to put that on, but with that Latinx vibe to it? I mean, you have so many songs. I mean, was it just, what made that one like
It
that's different?
was it I don't there's no coincidence. So we're rehearsing the entire album to showcase the release of the album in Miami. So we're doing
Yeah.
a live concert, and Gloria and Mimi were doing Bemba Colora. We finished, and Gloria turned around as she's done, and she turned around. She goes, "You know, you're gonna play my song, right?" And I was like, "What? You're gonna play my song, right?" And I'm like, "What song? Glamorous Life?" She
Glamorous
goes,
Life.
"Yeah, you better play my song." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" The Glamorous Life was not on the record.
Oh wow,
And so
okay,
I'm like,
crazy.
okay, so it was a bonus to uh, Bailar. I just wanted to do all the songs on the record, and that was it. I was not going to do any other songs.
Yeah.
So we ended with Glamorous Life, but so what happened was, she's like, you got to play my song. So I started playing this beat. I was like, okay. So I started playing a beat, and I said, we have all these percussion players, and the band was there.
Go for
We
it.
just started jamming, and I said, wait, hold on, because the horn players didn't have the music. The band,
Okay.
half of the band didn't know the song. So
Yeah.
we're making calls, asking my band in the Bay Area send us the horn charts. We got them in about 15 minutes. The horn players read it down, they learned it, and the next day we played it live. Like, that's
That's
how it got on the
insane.
record.
That's
That's how it got on there.
insane. And
Yeah.
it's funny because now I'm listening to both. I didn't hear the Latinx. I was, as I was preparing, I'm like, oh, I didn't, because I listened to a little bit on your albums, and I got the Glamorous, like, wait a minute, I don't want to mess up what's in my head, and then I heard it, I was like, yeah, this is pretty tight. This is
Oh,
pretty
thank
tight.
you.
I
Thank
liked
you.
it. I liked
Thank
it.
you.
I just want to step back a little bit. Your father, legendary Pete Escovedo, what are some of the early lessons you learned growing up, in a musical household? I mean, you're,
My watching my pops, my daddy play was incredible. It's like you don't realize until after, and you go, "Wait a
yeah,
minute!" I That's how I learned, watching him play.
yeah,
Mirror image. So whatever he would do, I would play on my lap. So whatever his right hand would do, my left hand would do, and that's how I learned how to play. Just how he treated people, like so kind and generous
yeah,
and thoughtful, and um, how he treated his band members, and everything is about family. So that's how I feel that extending the legacy of the Escovedo family,
yeah.
and
Amazing.
always being on time, which
Yeah.
means 15-20 minutes early
Oh yeah,
to make
yeah.
sure. And the biggest thing was, if you have the opportunity to learn your music, whatever it may be, going into a session, going into like a rehearsal, you got to do the homework. You have to
Oh
do the
yeah.
homework. And if you don't, you're going to walk into a situation not confident. You're going to feel insecure because you're like, well, shoot, I'm not even prepared.
Yeah.
The best thing is to learn everything as much as you can. Be prepared when you walk into the situation. Everybody's, okay, cool,
On
cool. So
saying, yeah,
you'll know who did not do their homework, but
yeah,
you're going to sit there playing, enjoying yourself, because you feel good about, I did the homework and I know the song, I know the
yeah,
show, I made all my notes, I'm reading, yeah, like I'm ready. So it's like taking a test, and if you do that, then you enjoy yourself. You're smiling, having fun. You're
yeah,
enjoying. You're in the moment, as opposed
yeah.
to struggling because you didn't learn. You didn't do the homework. That's the biggest one.
It's funny. It's almost like you're verbatim what I interviewed Nathan is. I guess it's a musician mindset. I mean, my musician mindset is about like this big, but it's like you're almost, I'm like hearing exactly verbatim, like the studying, you have to know, you can't just like walk in and say,
No.
look like a fool or something.
And people do that. I don't even know why they would put themselves in that position. Like,
Yeah, no,
why?
look, before this interview, you don't even want to know. I mean, I'm like, first off, I'm gonna get them some of the wording messed up, so I just want to let her know right from jump.
Oh no, it's all
I'm
good.
prepared, but
Listen, it took me a minute to learn how to speak Spanish to sing that
yeah.
song, so I understand.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I had a Latin class and they just told me to get out like about the day
Oh, they
two.
flunked me. They did the
Yeah,
same to me, so I understand.
get out. Do you remember the moment you knew like when you wanted to like, what drew you to percussion? I mean, there's so many instruments, you were around so much music. I mean, what drove you or guided you or, right to that? What was
My
okay.
dad. I mean, he played every day. He practiced every day. The percussion instruments were in the house.
Yeah.
When he noticed that I liked, getting on his percussion instruments after he would get off. He said to me in the third grade, I want you to learn another instrument. I was like, oh, what other percussion instrument? And he said violin. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, what? We lived in the hood. I'm gonna get beat up carrying a violin.
Walking down
Like,
the street with your case.
yeah, that don't sound right, Daddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, I ended up doing it, and I actually loved it. I loved that I learned about classical music, and I played for 5 years. I got scholarships, but the thing is that in my eighth grade, and I was first violinist too. And
Okay.
in the eighth grade, my teacher said, "Hey, can you start at bar 82, Sheila?" And I said, "Oh yeah, can you just play that for me?" She's like, "No, no, no, you play it." I was like, "Well, I'm not really sure." And then she did this, and I was like, "Oh shoot." I
Yeah.
walked over and she said, "Do you read?" And I said, "No." She goes, "But how is that possible? Because you're first violinist and you're playing everything. How can you not read?" I was like,
Wow.
"If you just play it once, then I learned it. Like it's
Wow.
like I hear it the first time, it's not a problem.
That's
It might
amazing.
not look the same, but it'll
But
sound the
it's still the
same."
same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
how I got through
amazing.
for 5 years.
That's amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, that's amazing. I went through violin, flute, guitar, and then I think my parents were saying, what, run track or something,
I ran track too, so I know. There you go.
send you out there in the field. You're regarded as one of the greatest musicians of our generation. I mean, you referred to as the queen of percussion, which I've been doing my research. You are the queen of percussion.
Thank you.
Um, as being like the first female drummer, I mean, there's other female drummers, and I can name a few well, like my research here: Terry Lynn Carrington, Cindy Blackman Santana. My question is, what challenges and breakthroughs did you face as a female percussionist? I mean, the barrier that
Yeah.
you kind of set.
Well, I mean, growing up, it's, for us it was normal living in the Bay. It's a mecca of music, and so we had funk, R&B, hip hop, rock and roll, Latin jazz, salsa. We have everything in the Bay,
Mhm.
and all the radio stations mixed up all the music all the time, so it wasn't just like really focused on that. um, and when everyone called to say, "Hey, let's go to the park. We're going to meet at the park," there were men and women, young people, old people playing. Everyone would bring their instruments, and we would just jam. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like we started the drum circle. Like it was, I was young,
yeah,
and so everyone would jam. So I also saw women playing shakers and shekares and djembes or whatever, whatever that you had. It was
yeah,
Berkeley, it was Oakland, like it was peace
yeah.
and love. And um, so growing up in that environment was cool. When I left Oakland and started touring with other artists, did I realize that, well, wait, where's your percussion? And, it didn't
Yeah.
exist. I had no idea. I did
Yeah.
not know that I was one of few. So those things that I went through were things like when I walked into a session and I walk in and the drummer says to me, "Hey, can you get me a cup of coffee?" And I'm like, "I'm not the receptionist, but I'll get
Right?
it for you.
Yeah.
I'm the
Right?
percussion player." Like, what? So those things, or then finding out later on, it's like, "Oh, that's Sheila Escovedo. She can play like she don't play," and blah blah
Hmm.
blah. And it's like, okay, well, you're just here because you know somebody. You're never gonna make it. You're never gonna, never, never, no, 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 all that. Oh, by the way, I can make you famous. Here's the key to my room. I'll meet you at it. All of that stuff,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just, I have the best parents in the world. They're incredible, amazing, and I could talk to them about anything. And they're so supportive and protective, of all of us.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
so it just made it easy for me to, do the and say the right thing.
Yeah. No, I mean it's your work is amazing. I'm doing my research for this interview, and I mean I of course feel I grew up, right along with you. But it's I didn't realize the vast majority of songs and collaborations and, just the whole vibe. And I think, you've done like and continue to do such an amazing job. Well, that's it for this edition of Hello, My Name is Dana podcast. Please contact us at dlcarter7575@gmail.com and listen to more exciting interviews on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, or visit us at hellomynameisdana.com. You can also catch the full video interview on my YouTube channel, Hello, My Name is Dana.